but got it. All right. They're gonna see me type in the group me. Who really cares? Stop the share for a second. All right. You guys ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah. Let me open up my Google Docs on my phone though, because I'm not gonna try and run like four apps here at the same time. Also, that is not good because I had notes on this computer and I was gonna use them. Timeout. Let me snap a quick picture of these notes that I had. Oh, that's so annoying. I can't open them. 1 second. Let me dump them onto a Google Doc so I can have them on my phone. But then once we're done, we're ready to go. All right. I'm ready now. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen real quick though and get the bracket back up. It's right there. Hopefully no one sees the ball questions because that would be bad.
I'm not looking.
Yeah, you're good.
Good. No cheating today.
Mason said Arkansas contacted Jaden.
That's interesting. That is quite interesting. I would. Oh, that's definitely Alex's Ken Palm rankings. Okay. Refresh this. Alrighty, guys. You ready to go?
No, actually, this time I'm not.
It's not ready. All right. Welcome back. We are here for our March Madness finale / special where we set the tournament and give you our predictions and our definitely totally accurate predictions of what is going to happen in March. As all of us, as everyone knows, we are definitely tournament predictors and the best people you should be listening to. So please follow along with us and we're going to give you some of the best predictions that you'll see. You may see some weird seeds winning a tournament. You may see a 16 beating a 1. We're just here for pure fun and pure enjoyment and for everyone at home to have the best bracket. So on that note, I need to switch over to the bracket, but it will not open. This is awesome. All righty. Our first matchup is at the Alabama Crimson Tide facing. Are we even going to talk about this?
You got it. Texas, you can say the names at least.
Do they even count? Like, do we care? No. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and then what's the other team, Dallas? I didn't even have them on my notes.
Southeast Missouri State.
Southeast Missouri State.
And Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
Yes, I said Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Anyone have a random 16 seed winning here, or are we all just gonna pick Alabama and call it a day?
I'd rather not pick against the number 1 overall seed right now.
Yeah. I will say I do have a few things to say about Alabama. Currently ranked 19th in offensive efficiency by Ken Palm and 3rd in defensive efficiency. Javon Quinterly has stepped out as like the forerunner as the best part of this team. He was averaging, I believe, 16 points in the SEC tournament. And Brandon Miller is also still somebody to watch out for. I think that will kind of add a little more depth if they can bring Javon Quinterly in and play him throughout the tournament more. You saw his expanded role in the SEC tournament, and I think it kind of steps on, and he'll probably be a massive key part of this run for a team like this in March. So, Rishi, I will designate you, though, to be the YouTube, or one of you could be the YouTube comment watcher, because I'm screen shared, so I cannot be flipping back and forth.
Gotcha.
On to the more interesting game, I would say. We do have Maryland versus West Virginia. I said this last night to my family. The 8 and the 9 seeds and the 7 and the 10s, you can pick any team you want. I will not know until the day of the game, probably, who I will pick. But it is Maryland versus West Virginia. Where do we sit on this game?
I
I've
think
got
this,
West Virginia.
I was gonna say this game is probably the hardest 8-9 to pick. You could say Memphis FAU is. I think it's the hardest 8-9 game. Both these teams are really physical and really like to play defense. So it's a matter of who's going to score the ball. Maryland looked okay against IU in the Big Ten tournament. Obviously, West Virginia got blown out in the Big 12 tournament, but we'll see. It's going to come down to Joe's Toussaint versus Jameer Young. Guard play is going to be key in this game. It's a very tough game to pick, but I am leaning towards West Virginia a little bit. I want to give the Big 12 benefit of the doubt. I think they face more tougher teams, and that's going to prepare them for this game.
I'm on the contrary, actually. Looking at it, Maryland is a really good team. They have 4 players averaging double figures currently. And they've been a tough team that's won with their back against the wall all year. They have, I believe, wins at Michigan State, IU, Illinois. I don't think they beat Purdue, but it was very close. They beat Michigan. So they're going to be a team to watch out for. And then on the other hand, West Virginia ranks currently 52nd in defensive efficiency. And Eric Stevenson has seemingly struggled. He's had very high moments of the season and very low moments of the season. And I feel that they will be the way that they will lose is if they play a dominant big man. And I think Maryland possesses the ability to win that game, but I also could see the case for West Virginia.
Yeah, I think Stevenson will have a big game. I don't think the wings on Maryland can guard him. I think Dante Scott is solid. I think he's a little big to guard Stevenson, though. So I think Stevenson will have a good game. And obviously West Virginia, I don't know who West Virginia's big is. They're going to have to handle Reese on the inside, but I just seen Maryland can get in foul trouble really easily. Obviously they did against IU, really cost them the game. I think that'll probably be a factor. Big 12 basketball really likes to take it to the rim, draw fouls. They're used to playing with contact. So I think that's why I give the edge to West Virginia. I think Maryland will probably get in foul trouble in this game.
Rishi, West Virginia here.
Yeah, I'm taking West Virginia. I think they've, if I'm not mistaken, been better on the road. And I think they'll also end up they'll do better in the 3-point line than Maryland. So that's why I'm going with West Virginia.
Yeah, I did have a note about Maryland. They are defensively giving up 50% shooting inside the arc currently. So that is something to watch out for. If they get dominated on the inside, that could be the downfall of their tournament. Guys, these are my 2 favorite matchups, these next 2. Like, I've changed off in each bracket of how I've looked at it, but the first is San Diego State versus the Charleston University, who has been electric since the beginning of the year. Electric. But where do we sit on this one? I think this is kind of a coin flip game, in my opinion.
I think I'm taking the under in this game is what I'm doing, but I'm not sure where to lean. This is one of those games where I think I'm going to go back and forth on it. I can go either way, and I might just have one of these teams go out early in the round of 32 so that I don't have to worry about picking the wrong team.
I like that a lot. I was looking at Charleston. They're 31-3 this year. You look at their record wise. I mean, obviously really good, but they did struggle towards the end of the year. They got some okay close wins against their conference foes. And then San Diego State just pretty much mauled through the Mountain West pretty easily. Obviously, the championship game against Utah State was fairly close. I think San Diego State's just a little bit better on defense, if I believe so. They're actually 10th in the adjusted defense in KenPom. I think that'll be big in this game.
Who'd you say about San Diego State? Yeah, they're adjusted 10th.
Yeah, 10th in defensive efficiency in Ken Palm. I think that's going to be huge in this game. Charleston has been shaky lately shooting the ball. So that's why I'm going to lean towards San Diego State. And obviously, the 5-12 later on, we'll talk about some more matchups. But I think the 5 will get a win on this side in San Diego State.
Whatever way I cut it, I feel like I'm looking at like basically copy and paste the same team playing each other. I'm just going to fire off some of the things that I wrote. San Diego State only has 2 losses since January 14th. They have a veteran experienced team. I think their youngest starter is a junior, and they're shooting at a 43% clip behind the 3-point line right now, while Charleston is basically the exact same thing. They're a shoot the lights out team with hitting 47% of their 3-point attempts. They're a top 30 tempo offense in the nation, and they had 91 3-point attempts in the CAA tournament. So no matter what way you cut it, both of these teams are shooting the ball no matter what happens. It's going to be a catch and shoot game. There's going to be a lot of pin downs, a lot of screens to get their shooters open. And at the end of the day, I just don't think I can go against San Diego State in this game. I feel like they have I think they have quad 1 wins, while Charleston, I don't think has any quad 1 wins. So I think the pressure might fall on Charleston, and I just think they're going to fall under the curve for me.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll say, which, by the way, I'll preface everything I'm going to say for the rest of this show by saying I might change my opinion by Thursday or Friday or whatever. But
if I see a tweet about someone's injury, I'm changing my whole bracket.
Dude, show me one graphic about some reason to pick College of Charleston, and I'll flip my pick in a heartbeat. But I'll take San Diego State, and my prediction will be if they can get to the free throw line, they'll be able to edge it out.
Yeah, this game has been a game that's drawn a lot of attention on a lot of social medias. It is the Virginia Cavaliers, the 4 seed, facing the 13th ranked Furman Paladins. Where do we sit on this game? In all of my brackets, I just want to say this out loud. I have picked Furman winning this game. I don't know what it is. It's just a pure vibes choice that I think Furman's just somehow going to show up to this game ready to play. I feel like they're going to be that. Everyone else has talked about all these low seeds or these high seeds that are the Cinderella that no one knows about. I think they're being overhyped. I think the Furman Paladins are probably the team that just runs the table here. So I have a couple notes about them. They're 33rd in adjusted offensive efficiency, but 183rd in defense. So they're not very good, but they do have a player named Jalen Slauson, who is putting up this stat line of 15.7 points per game, 7.1 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, 1.6 steals, and 1.6 blocks per game. So if they ride this guy into the grave and beat a team in Virginia that I didn't feel like it deserved a 4 seed, I wouldn't be surprised. But let's see what you guys feel about Furman Paladins or the Virginia Cavaliers.
So I was looking to see where Virginia was last year in the NCAA tournament, or if they were in the NCAA year.
I don't think they were. I have
because I had a little thing of a year they go far in the tournament, and then the next year they lose in the first round. They did this, obviously lost to 16 seed one year. The next year they go all the way and run the chip for the Natty. There's a 4-13 I like elsewhere. That's going to be very interesting to me. That's why I want to pick Virginia here. But I mean, Furman is really good. They got Bothwell averaging 18 a game. This dude is really good. And Pegues, 4 assists to only 1.8 turnovers a game. Very good assist to turnover ratio. I think Virginia's defense probably is a little too good for Furman. That's why I'll pick Virginia in this game. All they need is Armand Franklin or Kia Clark to play very well in this game, and I think they'll be all right. So that's why I'm going to go with Virginia in this game, and we'll be talking about a 13 seed being a 4 in a little bit.
Alex, did you already give your pick for this?
Yeah, I'm rocking Furman. I mean, it's off the board, but I also have a stat to back up what don't like about Virginia. They are the worst free throw shooting team that Tony Bennett has had since 2013, sitting at an average 70% from the free throw line. So, game comes down to free throws. Are you trusting Virginia over Furman? I'm just saying. Just
So yeah, I was gonna say I see Virginia as a team that I might be bumping out of this tournament early. As far as I know, I just want to say the data I'm looking at might be wrong because what I'm looking at shows that actually Furman has more tournament experience in terms of their players on their roster than Virginia does, which doesn't seem right. But if that's the case, that would be a big advantage for Furman that people probably wouldn't see coming. Um, as well as the whole pace thing. ACC's been kind of down this year. I wasn't going to take Virginia to go too far, anyways. I don't think a ton of people would pick in Furman, and so I say we go with Furman.
I enjoy that rate sheet. That made me feel good. But I think anything like in the 11 to like 15 range this year is like a 50-50 toss up if I think a team could win or not. There's only like a few teams I think are surefire losses. But I think any team could probably end up losing any game this year. It just seems like a very balanced NCAA tournament compared to years past. So I'm excited. But on to the next game. 6 versus the 11 seed, the Creighton Blue Jays facing the North Carolina State Wolfpack. This is a game that I've seen a lot of North Carolina State love on. Where do we kind of sit on the fence on this one?
I really like Creighton. I've been on Creighton since the beginning, and there's multiple reasons why I like them. I think they're better. I think their starting five is one of the best in the nation. All five players contribute very well. Obviously, they can have up and down nights. Creighton does. But another reason why I'm taking Creighton here is I don't think NC State deserves to be in. I think if you look at Oklahoma State, even Clemson. Clemson beat NC State both times by 20 this year. They were the fourth team out. So I think NC State slides in. Even Rutgers, I think Rutgers deserve to be in the NCAA tournament over NC State. So I am picking Creighton here to win this game.
Dallas is hating on the NCAA tournament committee. I love to see it already. I have some things to say about Creighton that are kind of like my bugaboos with Creighton's team this year. As we know, there is no Mitch Lightfoot. That's kind of big for them. He kind of averaged a lot of their points in the early season and kind of felt like that spark that they had. But you're now looking at Ryan Kalkbrenner and Shireman, the transfer from North Dakota State or South Dakota State. I don't remember exactly. So I think that'll be interesting to watch from them. They're still a really good offensive and defensive team, ranking top 30 in both offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. But I think Traquavian Smith is genuinely that guy. And I think this NC State team possesses the ability, if they get hot, to win a game. They do need to clean up their turnover ratio. They are currently turning over the ball 1 in every 10 possessions. So it's kind of 50-50, but like I think Dallas said, I think if you're looking at Creighton, this is a team that McDermott's got working at the highest level. So I'm going to go Creighton at the end of the day. I think they're just going to outwill their way in this game against NC State.
I got a bone to pick with Creighton. I really want to like Creighton. And did they lose to, was it Marquette that beat them in the Big East tournament?
Xavier.
Or was it?
Xavier.
Okay, so Xavier.
Put the hurt on them, I think.
Yeah.
I think they put the hurt on them.
I didn't remember because I wanted to block it out from my brain because I lost $25 on that game betting on Creighton because I really want to believe in this Creighton team. They got a lot of guys that I really like. I think Arthur Kaluma might be one of the best like sleeper prospects in the draft whenever he goes into the draft. I think Ryan Nemhard's a good point guard. So did you guys both pick Creighton already?
Yeah.
So even if we take them past this round, they're a team where it's like they've scorned me in the past, so I don't want to pick them to go too far in the tournament. They're another team where it's like I don't know if they're going to put it all together, so I'm not going to take them to go too far in my opinion. But we can advance them past NC State.
we're going to be foreshadowing to my round of 32 where I might have them lose. This has been also a game that has been a TikTok highlighted game on social media highlighted game. The Baylor Bears playing against the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. A lot of people are reckoning with the Gauchos. I don't know if you look at their KenPom stats. They are 71st in adjusted offense and 163rd. They are shooting 56.2% from the 2-point range. A Jay Mitchell, but they are only committing 15%. They're only committing turnovers on 15% of their possessions. So people are thinking that they're a good team. And the Baylor Bears have struggled this year. I think they're still a prolific concern about their defense, but I also think they need to look from behind the arc in scoring as well. So I'm kind of 50-50. I'm kind of leaning towards UC Santa Barbara here, just on another whim that I think they might just come in hot and they might just push through Baylor easy and maybe even Creighton.
I'll give this game, I'll label this game like giving Scott Drew a chance to prove us wrong, because like it's a very popular pick to take UCSB, but you have to also consider obviously Baylor. Scott Drew, he's done the tournament a few times, he's won the whole thing. I mean, if you win the whole thing, you're pretty much a Hall of Fame coach, right? Like, can we say he's going to be a Hall of Fame coach?
I mean, in the Big 12, yes, but overall, maybe. Bill Self kind of still shadows him in the Big 12 anyways. But
so either way, I mean, you got a good coach. You have to also consider the fact that they played a significantly harder schedule. So for that reason, I'll give this game to Baylor in kind of a spot where it's like it might be a trendy upset pick, but you got a few reasons to rely on a Baylor team.
I'm giving the edge to Baylor here. Adam Flagler, starting point guard, played behind Davion Mitchell and those guards that won the national championship for Baylor. So the experience is there. Experienced guard play is huge in the NCAA tournament. Now, UC Santa Barbara, though, obviously a lot of people picking them. That's because they returned a lot of their players from their 2021 tournament where they lost by 1 to Creighton as a 12 seed there. So 14 seed here to this time, but I think Baylor is a little too much. Their guards are just better. And Baylor's bigs will be interesting. Flo Thamba, I don't even know how to say his name. I'm not even going to say it. He's coming back from a knee injury. I think they'll be big in this game, provide the defensive end on the inside to help Baylor win this game.
Yeah, I'm going to agree that I think Baylor will probably end up winning this game, but I just think that UC Santa Barbara provides a interesting outlook into this game of that, I think if they practice right and those guys are hungry, that I'm not putting this past them of winning this game. I think this is the hardest 7-10 matchup next to Texas A&M and Penn State, guys. I'm just going to lay this out there. Missouri versus Utah State. Who do we have? Because I'm still not decided on who I have winning this game.
Wow. This is a flip-flop game for me, for sure.
I'll say I haven't watched too much of Utah State. Obviously, they did play San Diego State close in the Mountain West. But I just saw Missouri play Alabama close, and I really like what Missouri brings. They have Demoy Hodge. They have Kobe Brown. I think those two guys are enough to get them past Utah State. I have Missouri in this game.
I'm the opposite. I think there's going to be too heavy of a reliance on Kobe Brown and Demoy Hodge, and I think Utah State has proven throughout the year that they can guard good players. And I mean, they are not bad by any metrics or means. They are 13th in adjusted offense and 64th in adjusted defense. They're a top 15 nationally efficient offense, and I think they're going to be good inside the arc and outside the arc defending, and they're going to give Mizzou a game. That game is probably the game I'm tuning into, saying, I'm just here to watch this as a neutral. I'm not cheering for either team because I'm just cheering to watch this game, because this game will be the best two teams pound for pound wise playing each other, but I have to give it to Utah State. I think they have a lot more to win. And I think that Mizzou's had problems throughout the year where they kind of take their foot off the gas. And when they bring their subs in, it kind of just falls apart. So you can't keep Kobe Brown and Demoy Hodge out for the whole game. No matter how much you want to, you just can't. So I am giving it to Utah State.
Do we really have to pick though?
Yes, we do. That's kind of the whole point of the bracket is you like pick so we know who we're putting into the next round.
Let's just enjoy the game. It's going to be a nice game to watch.
I would love to say that, Rishi, and I get the concept here because we've put you on the fence now of you either have to go one way or the other. But just remember that nothing we have said this year has turned into anything correct. So,
okay, true. Actually, yeah, I'll just flip.
And if you remember how
how
bad last year's bracket was, like I'm pretty sure we didn't get like the first round right at all. So
I was not a part of that one.
We have nothing to lose here, gentlemen. We can just pick.
So now it's only gonna get worse now that I'm here. Let's go with Utah State.
I love to see that. And
I will say though, we're picking like a rookie bracket right now. We're picking the 5 seed, the 3 seed, the 6 seed, and the only upsets we're taking are like 1-4-13 and a 7-10.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, we are being analytical about it. We're thinking about it. We know what we need to talk about, and a lot of these teams just don't deserve the love that they're getting. This very like skimming the foam off the top kind of like stuff I see on social media. Like it can explain something about the game, but I don't think it explains overall quality of teams. Speaking of that, I saw a TikTok about Princeton today. I'm just going to read off what Princeton is. 103rd in adjusted offense and 171st in adjusted defense. I had no notes about their team. I thought they were that bad. So I think Arizona is going to blow the brakes off them probably by like 20 or 30.
Arizona is going to beat them by 20. I think Princeton can hang in for the first 15 or so minutes. I think the last 5 minutes of the first half, Arizona starts pulling away a little bit and then just continues in the second half.
I agree. I'm in the same boat on that where I think, they're great. We can talk all we want to talk about it, but, at the end of the day, you can't do much. So I think it's tough sledding for them.
If we're giving point spreads out, I'll go Arizona by 20.
We'll put them at 25 and a half.
25
and a half. 25 and a half easily. Alrighty, gentlemen. Do we want to move on to the Midwest or do we want to move on to the East? It's up to you. If we want to stay on this top half of the screen, we can.
Let's go with the Midwest. But also, I vote for one of these games, we use the wheel.
Oh, the wheel is back. The wheel is fun. The wheel is good.
If we had a 64-team wheel, I would wheel to see the national champion, but that would take too long to make.
You could definitely Google it right now and find a wheel. I bet you $100 I could Google it right now.
Actually, I have a spreadsheet of all the names in the tournament, so I got you. We're gonna make a wheel. I'll make a wheel real quick. We can continue though.
Yes, I think the last game. I think we should wheel for a number to know which matchup we're using, and then we'll wheel or let's just use Google random number generator. Do we want it? Okay, let's go. Shoot.
The train is officially off the rails.
All right. First, we're going 1 through 4 because why is? All right. Okay. I hate this thing so much. First, we're going 1 through 4. 4 being on the far right side of my screen. We got 4. Okay. I believe that is the Southeast, if I'm correct. I don't know. I can't see anything right now because this stupid share thing is. That is the West. Okay, so first we have the West, and now we're going to pick the matchup. We're going to go 1 through 16, whatever matchup it lands on. We have the number. Oh, God, I know what this game is.
What was it?
It's the 8 and the 9 game. It's Arkansas versus Illinois.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I didn't want to pick
Pure
this one anyway.
pandemonium. I have pure pandemonium about that game too because I just don't know who to pick. So when that game comes
Okay,
up, we are gonna stick a thumbtack in it and we're gonna come back to it.
so I've built a 64 team wheel. Should I just spin, see who the national champion will be in reality, and then we'll compare once we fill out the bracket?
Yes.
That's
Just
We'll keep
fine.
it a secret.
let's keep it a secret. I want the people at home to not be knowing of who the wheel tells us is going to win a national championship. Let's see if we can get the same thing as the wheel.
I could
Um,
also spin it 64 times and eliminate one each time to get to our
I
last one.
think that's boring. I think that's boring. I think
I'm
that's
gonna
going to
have
take
to do that because the wheel landed on Montana State, so I'm not picking Montana State.
right into the ground. All
All right, yeah, forget me. I'll do it in the background.
right. First game though, Texas Southern and Fairleigh Dickinson face the Purdue Boilermakers as Rishi has. The cyborg Terminator himself, Zach Edey, has been bestowed upon us for the March Madness of 2023 and will use his laser eyes to destroy whoever he faces. Um, is there even questions about this? Like Purdue just smokes them, right? Like 25 piece, 30 piece maybe.
So what I'll say is that Rutgers game was kind of scary when they started pressing. So I don't know who they're going to end up playing, but it might be worth watching the film of just like what are the other team's guards like, just to see.
Yeah, I have no worries because I think that there's just one factor in this game matters. Fact that there's a 7-4 player on the floor. I don't care which defense you have, if you press or if you don't, I'm throwing the ball as high as I can throw it, and Zach Edey is catching it with his go-go gadget arms and dunking it on your head. I, a 16 team they're gonna scare them for like the first 5 minutes. They're gonna come out and press. It's gonna be like 12-10 going in like the under 12 media timeout. And then Zach Edey's gonna go full cyborg mode and just absolutely dominate these kids because they're a small school and they're not 7'4" and named Zach Edey.
I'll say this. I'll say Texas Southern has a path to victory, but I'll go with Purdue.
Now, next round, we have a conversation, gentlemen. We have a very good conversation that I will have to have. But now onto this game, Memphis versus FAU. Pure vibes. I don't even care. I'm not gonna like say stats or anything. Memphis has been playing their butts off. They almost beat Houston at the end of the season. Took them basically to the last seconds of the game. I was with Dallas watching it. And then they beat them after Marcus Sasser left the game, but still a good Memphis team, or still a good Houston team. I'm rocking with Memphis. I can't. Penny Hardaway's got something in the water right now, so I'm going Memphis.
I think Kendrick Davis is too good. Kendrick Davis is going to lead this team to victory against FAU. I could very easily see FAU win this game. They are really good as well. They shoot very well from three, but I think Memphis and Kendrick Davis get this win.
Yeah. Rishi, you just want to stack onto the Memphis love here and just really seal them home. Just give them your Rishi stamp of approval for today.
They're gonna have to play a grit and grind game to win, but we can move Memphis on.
Yeah, all right. This has been a game that has been talked about on social media as well, and I no matter what people want to say today, and I get it, I love them to death. I love Max Avis to death, but this Duke team is on a whole new level. Their expectations were so low for me at like the middle of this year, and John Shire deservedly deserves the name John S. Or Coach S, because he's got this team humming right now. So I'm giving Duke the win. No questions asked. No matter how good Oral Roberts is, no matter what their tournament pedigree is, the Duke Blue Devils are the Duke Blue Devils at the end of the day, and they are going to hold up to their name.
Dallas?
You want to go?
Oh, you want me to go? Okay. You know, I think The thing that may convince me to go Oral Roberts is I saw something about Duke spamming going under on the ball screens. If that's the case and Max Asmus gets hot, I don't know if Duke can score enough to keep up with that. For that reason, I would say Oral Roberts, but this is definitely a game I could flip flop on.
Yeah, Duke's been playing really, really good lately, and that's why I'm going to pick Duke to win this game. But I think the people that are picking Duke to win this game aren't going to realize how close Oral Roberts is going to keep this game. They look back at Oral Roberts as a 15 seed and look at them go to the Sweet 16. This Oral Roberts team is a 12 seed for a reason. It's because they're better than when they were as a 15 seed. They have more depth, they have more pieces, and they have Max Absmith back. It's really going to come down to if he's hitting, if he's hot, and like Rishi said, they're going to be close, and I think it's going to be really close. But if he's cold, it's going to be Duke by 15 plus.
Yeah, I just think there's too much variability. There's too many variables in it for Roberts to win this game. I think that Max Amos is great, but you got to have a second option in the tournament because that guy might not be the guy he was 3 years ago when he went hot. So you just can't say that. And you're playing a good, well-coached Duke team. I mean, it's tough to say.
Are you questioning if Max Asmus is that guy?
I am questioning it. I will say it. I have my concerns. Too much hype can go to the head, Rishi. I mean, too much hype
Max
in the head.
Asmus officially on that guy watch.
He's officially on Alex's fraud watch. Onto a game which I would love to pick against this team. The Tennessee Volunteers face the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Just wanted to throw some notes out there. Knows the Kai Ziegler. The fact that Tennessee looks like they've fallen flat on their face and still gotten a 4 seed. Just a great question I have for the tournament committee. I mean, great job, guys. You really nailed this one. They have sucked at the end of the season. And their offense has been so inefficient all year, but it's great. We'll move on past that. I'm going Louisiana. I don't know if you guys have watched Tennessee basketball, but as the unfortunate SEC member here, I've watched way too much of Tennessee. And if you can beat Tennessee on their offense, I'm not worried about their defense. If you can score, their defense means nothing. And like if you can score, their defense means nothing. And then if their offense is still as inefficient as it is, it's going to be a tough game. I'm going to say Louisiana hits like a buzzer beater 3 to win the game, though. I think it's going to be tight, but I think Louisiana is somehow going to scrape a win out. And there's going to be a lot of hate coming towards Rick Barnes.
Yeah, Louisiana is one of the teams I know the least about going into this tournament so far, and for that reason, I'm taking it.
I like that, Rishi. I like that because this was my 13-4 upset, the Raging Cajuns. And there's one reason and one reason why. Tennessee does play good defense, but this team, the Raging Cajuns, shoot 38% as a team from 3, is top 10 in the nation. Jordan Brown is averaging 19 and 9 a game, shooting 57% from the field. He's going to be threat down low. And then Greg Williams shoots 40% from 3, 50% overall from the field. No Zakai Ziegler to guard him, so he will have his will in this game. And I think those two guys are going to power Louisiana to a victory over Tennessee.
Alex's official fraud watch of the NCAA tournament falls on a man named Santiago Vescovi. I dislike him with all of my being and will prey on his downfall until the day I see him graduate from college. He is an absolute bum, and he's only lucky because he knows how to shoot threes. So yes. Thank you guys. I hope he sees it too because he's a bum and he deserves to be called a bum. So he deserves it. I don't care what you can say. He's a bum in my eyes and my eyes only. And then on to a game that holds a very emotional place in Alex's heart. Based on the fact that we're playing an ex-player of the John Calipari era scares me. But it is Kentucky versus the Kentucky Wildcats versus the Providence Friars. Guys, I'm going to be honest, as a Kentucky fan, I'm going to have to wait until the day of the game to choose this game because I have no clue what is going on. There are two looming injuries over our heads right now, and I would love to say that I think Providence could win this game, but I don't think Providence has the will or the being to win this game. They have won, I think they're 15-15 in their last 30 games. So they're literally like 500 and they made the tournament. So, I mean, we can talk about their seeding again, but I don't really like them. I got to go with Kentucky, and I think this is like the Oscar Tshiebwe NBA coming out party where he puts up 30 and like 20 in the tournament and just goes to town after last year.
I think Providence might be the better team, but if Kentucky can beat Providence, they might go on a pretty decent run in this tournament. So whichever way this goes, like if we vote Kentucky to go through this round, I'd be fine with them making a little run, but Providence might be the better team.
That's a fair opinion, Rishi.
Providence does have 5 guys that average double digits. They're 3-point shooters. It's going to come down to Kentucky guarding the 3-point line in this game, and if they can guard Noah Locke, I think that's going to be very beneficial because you look at the other guys that shoot a lot of threes for Providence. They only shoot 30, 31, 27, and 27 from 3. Very low clips. So if Kentucky can force those guys into shots, which I think Toppin actually shuts down Hopkins very decently. If you watch Providence at all, if a guy his size or below or above him is guarding him, he has a lot of charges called on him. He cannot get his jumper off. He likes to body in the paint. So that offensive foul is going to be very key to watch for Hopkins. And Hopkins leads them in boarding too. So Oscar should have a great game in this game. I think Kentucky is going to win this game.
Thank you guys for helping my mental health today. $1 a day can help Alex Nielsen get off the Kentucky recovery program that he had to deal with for the past 2 seasons. But on to another game, a game where people have been spamming the comments on videos and on Twitter about this team. I'm sorry, Kansas State's going to kill Montana State. I would say it's a 15-point game on an easy night. I got Kansas State. I don't see there's any way that Montana State somehow pulls something out. Like we said for a lot of games, it may be competitive until the 8-minute timeout, media timeout, and then the game will be over. I mean, then this team will step up, their backups will come in, the other team's backups will come in, and they're just going to beat them to a senseless pulp. So I have to go with Kansas State.
I'm going to go with Kansas State as well, but I can see why people want to pick Montana State. I've looked at a few of their stats. They're a very solid team all around, so I think they match up okay with Kansas State. So I think this game could actually be pretty close throughout, but I think Marquise Noel and Keontae Johnson are too much to handle for Montana State.
Rishi?
It's a tough call. I think Montana State, I think, haven't they made the tournament recently? So do they have some guys coming back then that have played in the tournament before?
Yeah, they have Jubilee Balo and Raekwon Battle.
Yeah, for that reason, I'll say guys who have made the tournament, and I don't know if they've even made it out of the first round or not. I think those guys come in hungry and take this game. This is a really good Kansas State team, though.
Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, if I look at the game, I feel more confident in saying, hey, I'm going to go Kansas State over Montana State. I mean, the only thing they got in common is that they got state at the end of their name. So, I'll give them that. But I think we're going to stick Kansas State. We have another team with a state in their name after this, though. The Michigan State Spartans versus the USC Trojans, a matchup of course, two fighting figures. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting if you're looking at it from like I don't know, like a sense of like, oh, whose mascot wins. We could say the same about the last game because it's the Wildcats versus the Bobcats. I mean, it's just great, guys. You just pick based on which animal or human being is winning in a real life fight. That's what I'm going with. I'm just kidding. But I have the Michigan State Spartans. Tom Izzo's a great coach. This team is disgusting. They've gone on and won a lot of games. When I talked about Maryland earlier, they're in the same category. Backs to the wall, they win. They've put on dominant performance against IU. I'll be foreshadowing to in a little bit. I think they're better, and I just think USC. I think Pac-12 is such a limited conference. UCLA and Arizona are the two best teams, and it's just a two-horse race. So I'm going Michigan State.
Well, I think USC has a somewhat seasoned head coach. Like he's been to the tournament a few times. Yeah, like that Tom Izzo difference for that reason. I'm going to take MSU. Also, you need guards to win in March. Michigan State. There's an argument like Michigan State has top whatever guards in the country. Like they're really, really good.
Hogarth's nasty, dude. That dude is like legit. Like, if we want to talk about guys that like are gonna get their respect after this tournament, that is the guy I'd be putting at the top of my list as like you better respect him after what you just saw.
Yeah, I have Michigan State winning this game, but let's not sleep on what Boogie Ellis can do for USC. Tyson Walker and AJ Hogarth are very good, but Boogie Ellis is right there with them. He can score of the best of them. So I really like to see what Boogie can do in this game. But Michigan State's just a little too many weapons for USC. I think Joey Hauser is going to have a sneaky good game in this first round.
I agree. Another game which I feel like we're just gonna chalk it up and call it a day. Are we all picking Marquette? I mean, we've been on the Marquette bandwagon since like week 10 of college basketball, and I don't feel like it's any time to hop off. I think they're a good team. I think they're a controlled team. They play very well. They limit their turnovers, and at the end of the day, I just think they're good. I think the Big East was tough this year, and they've proven that they're up to the battle. So I mean, as long as they don't show up to the tournament playing like street ball and like just lacking off on defense, I think they're gonna slack a team like Vermont like 25 points or something.
Vermont's always like they always win their conference. They're always in the tournament. But they had their years with Anthony Lamb there, who's on the Warriors now. I don't think they have a guy like that can lead them to a win, especially over a team like Marquette. Marquette's just too good.
Yeah, I mean Marquette's a team. This bottom corner of the bracket, I'm gonna flip flop on a little bit because I know that I want to take Marquette deep in this bracket, but I also know that a Joey Hauser revenge game in round 2 is just so enticing. And so for that reason, I'm going to keep picking Michigan State to beat USC.
For the culture.
Winning,
just for the culture.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, Michigan State could easily lose to USC. And so it's kind of tough to be like, well, I kind of want to take Joey Hauser to beat Marquette in round 2, but Boogie Ellis could spoil the show.
True. We are done with that part of the bracket. We are on to the Midwest, and I actually have a 16 beating a 1. I'm going to give you guys just once again, Alex is just pure vibe tests on NKU. As Horizon League members, we've all seen the NKU Norse play this year, and they're legit. Now, they are playing Houston, which I feel like they kind of got scummed by playing Houston. I'm going to be honest. But, smaller division, whatever. I think they make it close, but at the end of the day, I think by halftime, they're probably going to be losing by 10 and probably going to end up losing by 25. So I'm going Houston, but there's still some cards of me maybe giving a Houston very early exit this year.
Yeah, so I'll go back to I believe it was last year when Gonzaga was a 1 seed and they were playing Georgia State. Georgia State played that game really, really close till about 5 or 4 minutes ago in that game. And with Houston without Marcus Sasser, I could see something similar with Northern Kentucky because of Marquise work, but I still think Houston has too many weapons. Jamal Shedd's really good. Jabari Walker's moved himself into a lottery pick this year. That's how good he's been. So I'd argue that Northern Kentucky actually got a better draw facing Houston because Houston somehow got the number 2 overall seed over Kansas, which it's very interesting that they put that up there. So I think without Marcus Sasser, Northern Kentucky could make just a little bit closer than what people think, but Houston's going to win this game.
My screen is freezing. I was gonna look at something, but yeah, I think my conclusion will probably be that I'll take Northern Kentucky to cover. Shout out to my grandpa. He was a professor at Northern Kentucky, so I'm taking him to cover. But Houston's a team I think I really like to take deep into this tournament.
We're gonna have a nice argument about that in the round of 32. On to this game, another 8 and 9 flip-flop coin toss of a game. It is the Iowa Hawkeyes facing the Auburn Tigers. I'm going Iowa just off the eye test that I think they're disgusting. Currently, I want my numbers to be right. They are currently ranked a whopping 3rd in offensive efficiency, adjusted offensive efficiency by Ken Palm, but 167th in defensive efficiency. So if you want to talk about a game where I'm smashing the over, I'm smashing the over on this game. Auburn, on the other hand, 48 and 29. I'd love to say that I think that there's some Auburn world where like all the SEC teams went out in the first round, minus Missouri, but it's not going to happen. So I'm actually going to go Iowa. I think they're better. I think they're experienced. I think Chris Murray's a bucket. He's also on my certified baller watch for this tournament. So I'd like to see them win. But I could see a case for Auburn. I think it's going to be one of those closely contested games. A 3 or like steal or like a foul on a transition could change the whole game.
Rishi, you want to go?
You can go ahead.
All right. I am also going to take the Iowa Hawkeyes in this game. I think Auburn's a little too up and down for me. Obviously, love Wendell Green from Auburn. I think he's going to have a very good game in this game. But the big guy, Jamari Broome, I think Rabacha from Auburn, I think he doesn't give enough respect. I think he was probably the 3rd best big behind Trace and Zach Edey in the Big Ten this year. He played really good basketball. Iowa spreads you out, so he has a lot of room to work down there. I think he'll have a solid game. The numbers to look out for in this game is Iowa cannot play at Iowa, obviously, in this tournament. So when you look at their splits when they're on the road or at neutral sites, everybody on their team shoots significantly worse. We saw this last year when they were a 5 seed and they played Richmond and lost in the first round. So I think experience will come back. They have a lot of guys coming back. So I think they'll shoot better in this game against Auburn to make it to the round of 32 against Houston.
I think Auburn could win this game with defense, so that'll be my pick. But did we have 2 for Iowa?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Iowa, Rishi.
Yeah, I mean, I made my pick as Auburn, but we have 2 for Iowa.
We it's okay. Rishi, I'm gonna let you open this game up. Tell me about those Miami Hurricanes since you've been on the Isaiah Wong train since like middle of last year.
This game makes me so angry.
Yep.
Because either team could make a run in this tournament. Drake's got an NBA player on their team. What's his name? Dallas, I know you know.
Tucker DeFries.
Tucker DeFries. Is it DeFries or DeFries?
Freeze. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Oh, so whatever. They got an NBA guy on their team. He's a guy who could have March moments. But I love the Miami Hurricanes. Obviously, they're going to be missing Orshed Nomir. Did I mess that up?
No, that's actually like a massive loss in this game if he can't go.
Is he ruled out?
I haven't seen that yet, but man,
I've seen questionable. I've seen a lot of questionables in game time decisions on him.
it's really massive if he plays or not. If he plays, Miami's winning this game. If he doesn't, I'm really 50-50 on this game.
I don't know. I mean, even if he's playing, Drake could win this game. But what I'll also say is I think Jordan Miller can make up for the loss of Orshad Nomir with a big game on defense. The problem is like Isaiah Wong kind of has had a tendency, maybe he's shaken this a little bit, but had a tendency to not show up in big games. So if you consider this a big game, it's like probably their last year being this good if some of these guys leave. I don't know. If they don't show up, Drake could totally upset them. Otherwise, I'm good taking Miami deep in this tournament.
I'm with you. I'm taking Miami in this game. Obviously, I don't know the injury scenarios in this game, but like I said, it always comes down to guard play. And Isaiah Wong, Nigel Pack, and Miller are three really good guards. Any one of them can put the ball in the goal, score it really well. I don't think Drake can have anybody that's going to guard all three of them. So I think Miami in the guard play gets it done.
I like the Drake Bulldogs. I love them. They're just amazing. Everything they do is perfect. They're 16-2 in their last 18 games. They're shooting a whopping 54% from inside the arc and 40% from outside the arc. They're a top 50 defensive efficiency team. They're 30th in opponent turnovers per game. But I think they're going to get murdered in the paint. I think Miami's going to have their way. I think Isaiah Wong also has his NBA coming out game, and I think they win. I may have the Drake Bulldogs in a couple brackets where I think they got them run the table. I might have a couple games in this region where there's some games that go the wrong way. A lot of these hungry mid-major teams get some wins. Now, speaking of hungry mid-major teams, we have to talk about the Indiana Hoosiers playing Kent State. Quite literally the worst matchup I think Indiana could have gotten on paper at the 13 seed. I think they are the toughest 13 seed to play tournament, point blank, period.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, that there's a little bit of history in this game for a lot of people that don't follow IU and stuff. So back in 2001, IU did lose to Kent State in the NCAA tournament. They actually did play in 2002 in the NCAA tournament as well. IU got its revenge, and that's the last year IU moved on to the Final Four. Now, in that year, Kent State's head coach was IU's assistant coach at that time under Kelvin Sampson. So this game has a lot of connections to it. It's very interesting that they drew in the first round. Kent State is very good. Obviously, only lost to Houston by, I think, 4 in the regular season.
Yeah, they lost by 5.
Houston was healthy. They only lost to a few of these other really good teams.
They lost to Gonzaga by 7.
Yeah, they play these teams really, really well. And I'm really having a hard time picking this game just because I don't know if they have anybody that can guard Trace Jackson Davis. I don't think anybody can guard Trace Jackson Davis, but who will show up? Jalen Hood-Schifino. Is he going to show up? Is he not going to show up? That's the key of this game for IU. I think he shows up in the first round and they beat Kent State. That's just my opinion here. I really like Kent State. In some of my brackets, I'll probably have Kent State beating IU, but I have IU winning this game.
Yeah, I think this is probably a pretty popular upset pick. But I'm going to take IU. I think that last year, did they go out in the first 4 or in the first round?
First round.
First round.
But yeah, they got like whopped, right?
Yeah, they played
St. Mary's.
They got smoked.
So I think I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, a big reason Trace at least said he came back was because he was mad about that. But so I don't see them going into this game and not getting a win. It might be close. Kent State might make it tough. But I mean, Trace Jackson Davis was making an argument for the Wooden Award down the stretch. Like it was, you could have had the conversation. And so I just don't see him losing this game after, having that result last year.
You all suck. I was hoping someone would be on the Kent State case with me. I think IU is the most, I'm saying this out loud and I'm giving it the Alex stamp of approval. Quite literally the worst 4 seed in the tournament next to Virginia, or the worst like top 4 seed in the tournament next to Virginia. They are quite literally the most one-dimensional basketball team ever created. It is Trace Jackson Davis. And if Trace Jackson Davis isn't open, shoot the 3. And you know what they haven't done all season? Shoot the 3 very well. Jalen Hood-Schifino's had moments where he gets flustered in games. So if I'm Kent State, I'm pressing Jalen Hood-Schifino. I am doubling him at every opportunity. I am making him put the game in his hands as much as we can and trying to not let Trace Jackson Davis touch the ball once. I'm not giving him the ball ever. I don't care if I have to put in some freshman scrub to foul out against him to make him angry. I don't care. Don't let him touch the ball. Because if the success plan for playing IU this year is stop Trace Jackson Davis and just don't get absolutely annihilated by the 3 ball. That's all you have to do. It is very one-dimensional. So for that, I would go Kent State because I think they're a good team. I think they're going to be well-maintained. They've got a good coaching staff, top 30 in defensive efficiency. I would love to give them my stamp of approval, but you all picked Indiana. So I'll just have to pick them losing in the next round, getting the absolute doors blown off them by Isaiah Wong. He's going to put up a 50-point game. So Keisei Tomanga vibes, just a true hero of America.
Butchered that one.
How? I did not say his name wrong.
Say the last name.
Tomanga. Is it Tominaga or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Tominaga. I'm so sorry, Keisei. I love you. Please transfer to Kentucky.
That would be pretty sweet.
I would love that. I would buy a jersey. But now we have another game to talk about. A game that I'm already going to allude to off the jump. Whoever plays in beats Pitt or beats Iowa State. Easy money. No questions asked. I think Iowa State is just the wheels fell off the bus in the middle of the season, and I feel like they could fall off again. They kind of had a okay tournament showing in the Big 12. Great. I think Mississippi State or Pitt are really good teams, pretty athletic teams, pretty good defensively, pretty decent offensively. So I think they're a good balance. I just don't see Iowa State being that team this year. It's just a meh team for me, and I don't really have as much confidence as I would. If they were on a lower line, yeah, I maybe would have confidence, but I think that's probably going to be whoever plays in is going to have that. It's kind of going to be like the IU St. Mary's. No, not really, because St. Mary's didn't really play in, but imagine someone who plays in, you kind of see that momentum come into the game, and I think it's just going to swing the other way for whoever plays in. So I'm going with the play-in team.
Me too. There's every year recently there's been a play-in team that goes on a little run. I'm good with it being this either Mississippi State or Pitt team.
So I like Pitt a lot more than Mississippi State. I really hope Pitt wins this game. If they do, I'll have Pitt in the Sweet 16. If Mississippi State wins this game, I'll have them beating Iowa State. We're probably losing in the next round. Pitt they play defense and they shoot better than Mississippi State. That matchup, I think, is going to come down to shooting. Pitt shoots better. They're very similar other than that. So I think Pitt will take that game. And obviously, I think Pitt is a really good team. And you've seen these 11 seeds come in off the play-in. UCLA did it and went to the Final Four in 2021. So it's very well give them some momentum. So give me Pitt.
I enjoy this, gentlemen. I enjoy this conversation. On to this game. It is the Xavier Musketeers. They're Musketeers, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Versus the Kennesaw State Owls. Just for some lovely storylines, in 2019-2021, head coach Amir Abdur-Rahim notched 1 win and was ranked the worst college basketball team. A year later, 2 years later, they are in a Big Ten. They're in an NCAA tournament. So just pure storyline vibes, just pure from the heart here. We didn't pick UC Santa Barbara because we thought that they were too popular. So I'm going Kennesaw State. Don't tell me why. Don't ask me why. just feeling this one. I felt it in all my brackets when I look at this game. I just feel like Xavier is in for the wheels to fall off the bus game. Like they're just something's going to happen, and it's all going to fall apart and come crashing down.
Kennesaw, for sure.
Xavier is always an interesting team when the NCAA tournament rolls around. And the same said for them this year. They're either going to win this game and make a run to the Elite Eight, or they're going to lose this game in the first round to Kennesaw State. I'll take Kennesaw State in this game. I think Chris Youngblood is going to give Cedric Boom a lot of problems, actually. I think he could cause Boom to have a really rough game. And I think as Boom goes, Xavier goes. So if Boom has a rough game, Xavier is going to have a rough game. So give me Kennesaw State here.
We are men of culture here at the SMC show. On to this game. Quite literally, both these teams got scammed on their positioning. Just gonna say it out loud again. Texas A&M fought tooth and nail with Alabama. I know they lost badly, but they are really good. They were the SEC second seed in the tournament after they were predicted to be one of the worst teams in the SEC this year. Great coach team. Penn State's the exact same way. They played their hearts out against Purdue. Some travels and some terrible plays by their players forced them to lose the game. So I think it kind of feels like a fraud that both of them got put playing against each other. Tough sledding no matter what way you cut it. But I got to go Texas A&M. I watched them all year. They're disgusting. They're nasty. They're physical. I think that's the one thing you saw against Penn State against Purdue is if they get physical, they're going to get back down. And I think Texas A&M is going to back them down into a corner, and they're not going to be able to leave that corner.
I mean, so I can tell you what I think about this game, and then you guys tell me what you think this means in terms of who will be the winner. So I feel like if it's a game where they're trading buckets and it's just bucket per bucket and it comes down to the end, I think Penn State's going to win this game. Is that what's going to happen? Is that going to be the case? Is that not going to be the case?
Rishi, I'm in agreement with you. This game is going to come down to 3-point shooting. I think Penn State shoots better from three. I think being that close with Purdue and Funk not having a really good game from behind the arc. Lundy hit some shots towards the end. So did Dredd. But their guards in that game were iffy from the 3-point line. I think Texas A&M, I'm not sure who they have exactly. I think Jalen Piggott will have another good game.
Wade Taylor, Boots Radford. I mean,
give me Penn State.
I'm going Texas A&M on better names. If there's a dude named Boots Radford hitting threes, I can see all those Twitter captions. Putting on the magic
boots on the ground.
Boots has left the building. Boots off. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm going Texas A&M. Once again, Rishi, it's on you. I can feel that you guys want to go Penn State, though. So I'll give it to you. I think Jalen Pickett is probably the best player in this game, undoubtedly. So
we love to see it.
And Penn State it is. Do we even need to talk about this game? Because Texas got scammed on their seeding. They should have been a 1. I don't know what they thought when they were making this up. They're like, oh, Texas is a 2. No, they walloped Kansas in the Big 12 final. I'm going Texas, possibly foreshadowing that they're going to be in my Final Four no matter what happens. I will fight tooth and nail for this Texas team. They are amazing. I said it a couple weeks ago. They're the best pound-for-pound team in the nation. I think they have literally 7 starters that can play at any point in the game. And people are like, oh, Colgate. No. Serge Ibari. Yeah, Serge Ibari is going to have some poor Colgate kid pump faked out of his shoes halfway through the game. So I'm going Texas.
They say conference champs don't win in March. For that reason, Colgate's going to outscore Texas and make it happen.
Rishi, I can understand. I can understand coming to Colgate here. These are two teams that in the past, when I've personally filled out tournaments, these two teams bite me in the butt every time I pick them. I mean, I picked Colgate to upset Arkansas a couple years ago. They lose. I always pick Texas to go to the Elite Eight Final Four. They lose in the first or second round every year. So it's very tough for me. Give me Texas in this game. I think they're really good. I'm very concerned to pick Texas going far, even though I really want to, just because I know they'll screw me over. And I'm probably the bad luck for Texas. So if I don't pick them, they'll probably win the national championship this year. So maybe that'll be the strategy.
All right.
Dallas, hold on. Let me pitch something here. A 1 or 2 seed has to lose early. Let's just get it over with. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
I talked to you about this earlier. We have one more bracket to go.
We can do multiple.
I do. I am agreeing with Dallas. I might have the 1 and the 2 seed in the next bracket somehow.
Yeah, me too. So let's just do it.
Okay. We're on to the West, the last one. First off, we have Kansas versus Howard. I don't know if anyone else has watched Howard play this year, but they played Kentucky like tooth and nail to open the season. Been a really good team. I hate Kansas, and I think the fact that they don't have a center that is above 6'8" is going to be the biggest problem for them, and it's probably going to be the death of them. And I think Jalen Wilson doesn't show up to the gym. Grady Dick might not show up to the gym. I don't know if I'm putting the game in these other guys' hands. I might say it. I think we might see our second 16 seed win in March Madness ever.
I'd consider Howard to beat Kansas if Kansas didn't lose by 20 to Texas and have Bill Self coming back to coach.
That's also in the back of my mind.
I think losing by 20 and having Bill Self come back for the tournament, they're going to be a little angry, so they're going to take care of business against the 16 seed. I think it's going to be very tough for them the rest of the way after this first game, though. But give me that for.
We're rolling the dice, Howard.
I love to see it. It is so enjoyable to watch these games. Rishi, this is the Wheel of Fortune game. Who's winning this game? Yes. I don't even want to argue about this game, you all, because I hate the conversation that we'd have.
Wait, did you do the wheel already for this one?
No. Do you want me to create a wheel?
Yeah, I've been doing the 64 team wheel in the background.
All right. Random wheel.
Get the colors right too. Oh no, yeah, do like 6 of them and have it alternate, so then it's like, you gotta name it.
I know. Give me a second. I don't know why I can't edit this wheel. John won, guys. John just absolutely schwacked the NCAA tournament.
Is there a John on either of these rosters?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Is there a Jennifer?
Someone look up Arkansas.
I don't know how to edit this. All right, I gotta go to a different wheel generator. That's just absolute garbage. All right, here we go. We're just gonna go. Do we just go to 2 slices, or do we go to 6 and just name each one?
I say we go 6 alternating ones.
Yeah.
All right. Slice number 6. What order? I think we got to go by seeds. We go Arkansas. If anyone sees me misspell any of these names, please don't.
Nobody has a John on their team.
No Johns.
Arkansas does not. I do not believe Illinois does.
Can we fix up this color scheme?
I'll fix it in a minute. Goodness gracious. I'm just trying not to misspell any of these names right now.
This is kind of screaming Michigan VCU right now.
Okay, how do you change the names? How do you change the colors?
We don't have to.
All right, just spin this. For the winner. Oh, I gotta move the screen. The winner is
mine's lagging.
The Razorbacks. The Razorbacks. Ooh. I was gonna pick them anyways. Just saying. Just thought Arkansas was better. But we got the Razorbacks, gentlemen.
You guys
All
want to
right,
take Arkansas to go on a big run this year?
dude, I'm thinking about it after the fact that we just put Howard at.
Why not?
Well, guys, I'm just gonna say it out loud. This was my part of the bracket to absolutely just throw out absurd takes. And I'm gonna throw out the absurd take that I think VCU and St. Mary's is under is gonna be terrible. I better see a Vegas line of like 100 points because these two teams are literally like neck and neck for their positioning and defense. And I think St. Mary's is overhyped this year. I think some people have sipped the Kool-Aid a little too much on them. They know what St. Mary's is. They won the WCC. They're those guys this year. VCU's got something coming for them. I'm going VCU.
We have to pick a 12. I mean, we haven't picked
Another
a 12
one.
yet. We haven't picked a 12 yet. We have to pick one. You know how much I love St. Mary's, but let's go VCU.
Another upset. Let's do it.
Let's turn this right around. I'm going Iona over UConn. Rick Pitino, great coach. They have been nothing short of fantastic. If you look at all their metrics, they're insane. I think it's UConn's game to lose, and I think Mr. Pitino is that guy, and he's going to take this team dancing. So let's go Iona. I can see the genuine
I have UConn winning this game.
boo. Let's bring the culture back together here and just clean this bracket out on just upset city.
This is so tough, dude. Like I could totally see Rick Pitino pulling it off. Connecticut is a tough team to pull it off against.
I think that makes it even better. I think he's going to have those guys fired up coming into this game. I feel like it's a surefire win.
Hold up, let me look up one more thing. VCU. All right, yep. I'm gonna do a little foreshadowing. Iona gets beaten by VCU to the Elite Eight.
Boom, Iona. And to follow this up, I think Arizona State and TCU do what exactly we said in the last one, where the 11 plays their heart out, and either team could win the game. So give me Arizona State or Nevada. I think they're both good, and I think Arizona State will win because they're playing right now with probably the biggest chip on their shoulder. And I think TCU just kind of banged up, and they've been kind of like middle of the road team. So I'm going Arizona State and Nevada.
I don't know much about Nevada.
It's a tough team. If Nevada wins that play and they could play TCU really close, I think Arizona State had one good game. Obviously, a half-court buzzer beater against Arizona. So that's why I'm going to take TCU in this game. I don't think TCU goes much farther, though.
All right, maybe I've leaned a little too far in, unless Rishi somehow says he thinks Arizona State or Nevada's.
We're going TCU.
All right, I'll lean into TCU as well. I'll give them that.
I think they're
The
just the
greatest
better
college.
team.
The greatest college to ever have ads, though, is up, gentlemen. Is not Gonzaga. Is Grand Canyon University. This is an interesting matchup. I think Gonzaga deserved a 3 seed, but I'm looking to give it to Grand Canyon. I don't know what it is, but give me Grand Canyon. I'm fully leaned into it. I'll chalk this whole bracket up just based on the fact that I just like these teams and I just like the vibes coming into this game.
Gonzaga could go deep. I think we go Gonzaga.
Yeah, for me, this is first year in a while. Gonzaga is not a 1 or 2 and heavily favored to make the Final Four and stuff. So I think they'll play a little bit looser in the tournament and make a deep run here. I don't think they have enough to win it all, but I think they can get farther than they have previous years.
I was just trying to see if y'all would follow along, but no one wants to follow along. Okay. Northwestern Boise State. Just based on the name factor, Boo Booey wins this. I'm giving it to Northwestern. I think they're a tough team to play, and I think they might have some candidates for me to win a couple games here and maybe make a little bit of a run. Sorry, I picked a team. That's my bad.
Co-defensive player of the year in the Big Ten as Chase Audish of Northwestern. Northwestern is very good on the defensive end. I think that's going to be the key of this game. I think Boo Buie will make shots. I think Brooks Barnheiser off the bench will have a good game in his first tournament game. So I think give me Northwestern.
Boo Buie. More like boo hooey when Boise State wins this game. I got Boise State.
Sorry, Rishi. Couldn't give it up to you. The last game of the first round that we have not decided, UCLA versus UNC Asheville. I've seen the lean into UNC Asheville. UNC didn't make the tournament. So is this the UNC to carry on the legacy here?
If any 15 seed has a chance to win this year, it is UNC Asheville. Everything has fallen their way. Jalen Clark is out for UCLA. UNC Asheville is 7th best in the country in 3-point percentage. Without the defensive player of the year for UCLA, can they guard the 3-point line? UNC Asheville has, I believe his name is Drew Palmer, averaging 21 a game. That dude drops 30. UNC Asheville wins this game.
He doesn't drop 30. He drops a 30-15 double-double. Rishi?
It's UCLA.
And you know what?
Their guards are built for March.
You got ratioed UNC Asheville.
You guys are making a mistake with this one. Who's going to come out of this? Hold on. Let's look at this bracket. Who's going to come out?
We're going to start here actually with the round of 32.
VCU is going to come. No, hold on. VCU is going to come out of this bracket.
Gonzaga.
At least give me UCLA.
I'll give you UCLA. That I'm leaning so hard on those upsets.
Hold on. How many 1 or 2 seeds did we upset? Just one?
Just the one.
Then you can have Asheville.
Yes. I am going to come back to the Kansas one and say, though, I don't think Kansas loses this game. So, yeah, based on the factor that they did lose by 20, I am going to change my mind now. I don't think Howard's going to do it. Sorry, guys. If they do and I'm wrong, you can roast me on the next show. But let's start at the bottom.
You got to stick with it. Stick with it.
Yeah, let's stick with it. Never mind.
We're gonna pick Arkansas to beat them anyway, so you might as well just go.
Yeah. Northwestern, UNC Asheville. Does UNC Asheville in any way, shape, or form get on a run and just dominate here, or is it Northwestern's game to win?
That game would actually be very interesting because
that game would be
defense against 3-point shooting. So this game is very interesting. Northwestern can hold you down, but UNC Asheville shoots it really well. So the game would actually be a very cool game to watch and see. I think it actually could be in like the 50s. I think Northwestern could play good defense, but UNC Asheville would hit some shots here and there. I don't think Northwestern will have that great of an offensive game. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I think Northwestern pulls it out, though.
I agree.
Hold up. Stall for 1 minute.
He's looking to see if he likes a player's name in a tweet. What is that?
You know who this is? Who this is?
No.
This is Rocky the Bulldog. I'm rocking with the Bulldogs. Let's go UNC Asheville, baby.
I don't even think they're a Bulldog.
That's what it is.
Oh, wow. They are a Bulldog. Their logo looked like a bird or something on this screen. Let's go.
You want to pull them? Let's pull them out. Let's pull them to the Sweet 16 or a Roberts type run.
Let's go.
All right. TCU Gonzaga. Who you guys got winning this game? I think it's easy. I think Gonzaga probably blows the doors off TCU just based on the fact that they can play in the paint. Agrees? Bulldogs
Yeah.
facing Bulldogs. All right, I like to see it. Probably the
I don't
greatest
know.
matchup ever to be created. VCU versus Iona. Coaching
VCU.
versus coaching galore. I go VCU though. I think their defense is so good. I watched a little VCU film today. I can't even lie. I like what VCU shows.
Yeah, VCU.
Toughest matchup we have, gentlemen. The 16 seed
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Arkansas beats them so. Do you guys just want to do the Final Four while we're here, or our Elite Eight?
Yeah, that's fun. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Do we have 2 double-digit seeds in the Elite Eight?
Hold
I don't know.
up. I did not consider these hypotheticals at all until 2 seconds ago. So I have no idea is my honest
The
answer.
fact that we fully leaned into, like, we were like working on like logic and knowledge, and then we got to the West, threw it all out the window, and said, let's just go purely on. Last year we were arguing, like it was a 3-hour show last year because we were arguing so long about some of these games. But this year it's just been like, oh yeah, I think they could win.
Who cares? We're here to
I go
enjoy the games
Arkansas though.
anyways.
I think there's prolific scoring on Arkansas, and I can't bet against Nick Smith Jr. and Anthony Black. I think that team's just too good.
So I think the thing that sways me in this game is the whole if you lose early in your conference tournament, sometimes that team goes on a run. Arkansas got a couple extra days of rest, but my hot take for the future will be this game when it happens, Arkansas VCU, when that happens in the Sweet 16 or in the Elite Eight, actually. When is it? Sweet 16?
Sweet 16.
When that happens in the Sweet 16, it'll end in a buzzer beater, but Arkansas will win.
All
I
right.
like that. I like that.
Gonzaga, UNC, Asheville.
The run ends there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Gonzaga like curb stomps them by like 40 or something stupid. Like Drew Timmy has like a career like Michael Jordan game or something. So I go Gonzaga easy. While we're here, do we want to decide which one of these teams makes it to the Final Four?
Yeah, I'm throwing my hat in the ring for Arkansas.
Defense wins championships, and Arkansas's got a lot of it. I go Arkansas buzzer beater to win this game.
Double buzzer beater?
Double buzzer beater. They are on fire going into this.
One shining moment.
You guys
Dallas?
got I'm okay with Arkansas going on, but me personally, I'd have Gonzaga in the Final Four.
Yeah, but no one likes that, Dallas. That's not fun. That's boring basketball.
You guys want to do a rapid fire round for one side of the bracket?
I vote this side actually. Iowa,
Houston.
I thought I was gonna get it. Miami blows the doors off IU.
Miami if healthy.
IU, unfortunately.
You stepped away from Isaiah Wong. You are not a real.
Well, if we're going this far with it, maybe I'll ride with it now. But
Mississippi, I think Kennesaw State can't win here, so
Pitt.
I go.
It's Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt.
Yep. Or Mississippi State, they're good.
Texas, easy. No way. If we're really thinking about taking Penn State over Texas, I might flip out and like turn this thing off.
Rapid fire, Penn State.
Texas.
No way. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you for using your brain. Actually, no, Dallas.
Let's look at the seeds right now. 1, 2, 11, 5. Really? You think that's gonna happen? 1, 2, and 5?
8 and 3. We have the first and the second seed losing in the West. If we're going for any realism factor, it's been thrown out the window already.
It's called madness, brother.
I got Houston making the Elite Eight versus Texas. I think it's gonna be a battle for who gets to play in Texas.
Miami, Texas. The only
Wanna go-
person that gets to play home field finals games are Matt Stafford and Tom Brady.
Miami,
Dallas?
Texas. Miami, Texas.
All right, like to see it. Back to the side of the bracket we were on 3 hours ago. Alabama, West Virginia.
Bama.
Bob Huggins, West Virginia moments? Nope.
I haven't
Nope.
watched enough West Virginia to warrant actually
I can't
picking
stand
but
them, so I'm going Alabama. I'm sorry. All
fine
right.
by me.
It's San Diego State versus Furman. Who do we have here?
Upset.
Furman beating Dallas.
Bro, I kind of want to pick West Virginia now.
I'm okay. If we go back, I'm okay with West Virginia. If you want to pick West Virginia, I'll pick San Diego State. And then I'll pick San Diego State to the Elite Eight.
Has San Diego State? Are we sure San Diego State is even going to win in the first round? Can we
They
have
are
them
like
going
that.
to the Elite Eight?
They are
No.
like that.
No.
I'm fully willing to lean in onto it, though.
That feels like a mistake in hindsight, but I mean, so in a hypothetical San Diego State Alabama matchup, who do you guys take?
I think the elements play to the game, and I think that Alabama just falls apart. They haven't done it all year, and I think at some time it just has to happen. And I think San Diego State would be the best team to do that to them. Shoot the doors.
I'd have Bama beating San Diego State.
Okay, so here's my opinion. I'd rather the two teams I want in out of that are either Furman or Alabama. So whichever one wins out of that.
I'll go Furman. I'll go that Furman just somehow
No,
gets on.
Dallas wants San Diego State. So if we pick San Diego State, then
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with Furman and Bama. If you want to do that, I'm okay with that.
Creighton
I'm gonna be
Baylor.
honest, I don't know.
Creighton Baylor. I go Baylor just based on the defense. I think Lightfoot just somehow not being there doesn't help their cause.
That game's so hard to pick.
I was picking with my heart with Miami when I know they could go out the first round. So this time I'll pick against my heart and go with Baylor.
Dallas, do you want to have a rebuttal for Creighton?
Oh God. It's just they're so up and down. I mean, Baylor has been too this year, but
Game of variability.
Baylor more experience.
Yeah. I'm struggling with this, guys. I've been dreading seeing this matchup. Utah State versus Arizona. I have to go with the Euro League and go Arizona, though.
The Euro League.
Euro League's better.
You guys want to make this zone Bama?
Yeah, I would. That's actually what I've had in every bracket.
I'm okay with that.
All right, we're gonna come back and do the final four. I know we already picked one of the final fours, but okay, this is where a lot of interesting things also happen. I have Memphis beating Purdue, straight up. They have been the world beater this year, and they've almost beat Houston twice. If I think you can beat Houston, I'm pretty sure you can beat Zach Edey and Purdue.
This is probably gonna be one of my last picks made for this bracket I'll make. I'll probably literally wake up Thursday morning and then decide 15 minutes before tip of Maryland, West Virginia, who's going to win this and who's going to go on. Purdue could easily lose here. My opinion on this, Purdue either loses here or they go to the Final Four. So
well, there's a big difference in that.
So give me Memphis here.
Man of the culture.
I know Rishi, you like Purdue a lot. You had them one year.
Oh, I'm on Asheville now, baby. But no, yeah, I don't know. This whole from Louisiana all the way through Purdue, that section of the bracket, I need to do a lot more research to come to a conclusion. So really, whatever we end up doing is fine.
So Memphis it is. All right, I'm going Duke against Louisiana. It's just Duke. This is tough, guys. I have to take the impartialness. I have to put impartialness into my body. Kansas State versus Kentucky. Kansas State wins. We're just not good enough to win this game. This is just one of those games where we're just going to get dominated by some random player. Some scrub is going to show up. And Doug Eddard from last year and just rain threes on us. I go Kansas State just because I think Keontae Johnson has the best story of college basketball all year.
Rishi, I'll let you pick.
Kentucky.
I actually think when you look at this game, you look at the matchups all around. I don't think there's an overpowering matchup for Kansas State. You say they take advantage of. So give me Kentucky.
Wait, I was the one who voted against Kansas. I'm gonna keep it this way. Michigan State Marquette. Now this game's also brutal. I won it on the pure factor that Kentucky plays Michigan. I think so.
Click on the info, see if it tells you.
Nationwide in Columbus.
Would the winner be going to MSG then?
I think so. I don't know. Let me click a team through to see. Yes, MSG.
Oh, dude, Marquette could win the whole thing this year.
I have them winning, but I have them winning by like a turnover or something, like some dumb moment at the end of the game. Michigan State has one lapse in like mental fortitude and loses.
I think Marquette just has a little too much scoring for Michigan State. I know Izzo's going to come into this game probably with a great game plan for Tyler Kolek, and I think Hogarth can slow him down, and that's going to be huge in this game. Marquette can hit threes. Yeah, man, that game's tough.
But Memphis Duke.
I don't know. You guys can pick because I think I would have picked Purdue.
I mean, I'll go back and give Purdue this game. So I think this game.
No. You guys voted it majority. I'd rather it stay that way because I got a different pick now for something later.
I go Memphis. I think they're just too hot against Duke.
I think you're
coming up.
If Duke makes it that far, they probably are the better team. Yeah.
All right, Duke. Kentucky Marquette. I hate this game on so many levels. So many levels.
My Kentucky bias stops here.
I want to hear the Kentucky fans' take on this game. Actually,
if
I would be a
Kayson's
hot
healthy,
mess. I'd be a hot mess
Kayson's
before
healthy,
this
man.
game.
If Kayson's healthy, him and Kolak, that guard matchup is crazy. Great guard matchup. It's gonna be the wing matchup's gonna be key. I think Marquette's a little big on the wings. Toppin can take away one. I hope Chris would have a big game against Marquette. I think he could, but as a freshman coming in, it's gonna be tough for him. Freshman attorneys either step up or don't play well. I think somehow he probably doesn't play well in this game. You can't go small against Marquette. They're going to pound you. I think that's going to hurt Kentucky. They might try to go small. And I think Marquette can take away Reeves pretty decent. So give me Marquette.
I go Marquette as well. Exactly the same reasons as Dallas. If this game happened and I had to go to class that day, I would not think about anything in that class other than this game because it would scare me.
I'm going Kentucky for the record.
Rishi is just riding Kentucky here because he knows
Love you, Rishi.
Two Kentucky fans will just not
Love
pick
it.
him.
MSG, baby.
Marquette Duke. I go Marquette. I think they're that good.
John Shire, one shining moment in MSG. That'd be pretty sick.
I think it falls apart.
First year head coach has never won the NCAA tournament. That stays the same this year.
Marquette.
Marquette's.
Yeah. All right. How long are we going to debate Alabama, Arizona? I go Arizona. I think they match up better. I think Taboyla shuts down Brandon Miller, and I think the rest of the team goes off. Like I said earlier, it's all on Javon Quinterly. So I think Arizona has more stars surrounding their best player.
I hate both of these teams. I'll say that right now. I hate both of them. So I'm
okay. Cheer for the one you hate less.
Bama.
What region is this? South?
Yeah.
Where are they playing? Louisville?
Probably near Bama then.
I go Arizona.
I think it's kind of tough. I don't know. I think the best pick here is probably Bama.
I go Texas for the last Final Four seed.
I'm fine with Texas. Dallas, do you have a take?
Unless Dallas has a hot Miami.
It's so hard. If Miami's healthy, I think they can play really well against Texas. You can say the same thing about Texas. They were missing Timmy Allen in the Big 12 tournament and still blew the brakes off
and
Kansas.
Dylan DeSue still played like
so. I don't
prime Dennis Rodman.
I'll take Texas. I think they're really good, but they always screw me over. So they'll probably screw me over again this year.
Actually, I wanted to pick against Texas, so I'll say Miami. Whatever.
All right, cool. I'm cool with that. Arkansas, Miami. How have we gone?
Okay, should we have picked Texas? Maybe we should have picked Texas.
Arkansas,
go with Texas.
Yeah, let's go.
I'd say my national championship out of that, if you're going to put Texas down there, is Texas Marquette.
I go Texas
Marquette.
Texas
Bama for me. Texas Bama.
Texas Marquette.
Trust. Texas Bama.
I can slide Bama. If you want to slide Bama, I'll slide Bama, Rishi.
All right. I like this.
Or should we debate this one? We haven't debated a game in a little bit right now. Should we actually put a couple points in the
I think Marquette doesn't defensively. Here's my thing. Marquette defensively might not match up on the inside. I think Alabama might gyp them in the glass. Like, I think that's where they have a lot more height and they have a lot more length. And I think that's where you're looking at a game like this. And I think you're looking at explosive players. And I think Alabama possesses Mark Sears, Javon Quinterly, Brandon Miller. I'm blanking on both their power forward and center's name, but they're both great. So I think it's an Alabama win, probably.
Yeah, I'll say – go ahead.
I was just going to say the guard matchup with Kolak again. Mostly every game, but if you can slow him down for Marquette at all, I think you have a good chance to win just because he orchestrates so much of that offense off the pick and roll. Left-handed point guard can get to the rim pretty easily. All the games I've watched, easier than anybody else in the nation. I've seen this man get to the rim and get layups. So against Bama, I think it's just going to be a little tough to do that. So rethinking it, yeah, I think Bama would probably win that game.
All right. Texas, Alabama, national final in Houston. Very close for both teams. One may be closer than the other, but still very close.
I think this NCAA season, by the way, also hot take for the Final Four when Alabama inevitably plays Marquette. I'll take Alabama by 20. But then also for this final, it's just the whole season is just gonna culminate in a big groan. All these Texas fans are gonna be in Dallas or Houston ready to watch their team win, and then Bama, the team with all this controversy, ends up winning, and then everyone's just really, and that's how it's gonna end.
I think Texas is America's hero, just like the Dallas Cowboys. And I think everyone roots behind Texas, and that place is just full of orange. And I go Texas.
Oh man, the game would be so good to see. I hope we don't see it because I don't like Bama, but that game would be very, very cool to see.
Live and die by the Longhorns. Come horns.
Just if you really look at it, both of these teams, I believe. Let me look at Marquette as well. Marquette. Both of these teams actually do qualify on the Ken Palm tournament champions. If you don't know what that is, I believe it's. I forget
70,
exactly the
70
numbers.
and 75. 70 and 75.
Well, for the national championship,
every national champion in the past 12 years has been 70 and 75 in Ken Palm.
I'm pretty sure they've actually been top 21 in offense and 45 in defense. Yes,
UConn was 57th in offense when they won a national championship.
They moved it, 57. So 57, and then whatever the other defensive number is, but it's not that far out. But both these teams obviously qualify pretty easy. There's actually around, I think, 8 teams this year that qualify for that. So there's not too many teams heading into last year. There's a lot of variables that you can look at for these teams. I think Bama probably is too athletic for Texas. I'd hate to see Bama win it, but I think they'd probably win that game.
All right, what's the score? Absolute heartbreaker.
Your call.
Oh gosh, I always go for these scores when I always type them in. I always go in around the 70 range, somewhere in there. I think that's a good number to look at. I don't know.
My screen currently.
I don't know the last
Yep.
We're going starting at 70 and we're going to 100.
I don't know the last national championship scores off the top, but
92. Which team deserves 92, gentlemen?
Bama.
If they're gonna win, I mean 92 is a lot.
Unless somehow
maybe it's an OT. Maybe it's OT.
Maybe it is.
Oh my God.
192 and 2 OTs.
I'll give it to Alabama 100 to 92.
Someone put that exact score bet in right now at plus
Rishi,
8 million to 1 odds.
Rishi, that's only you. So all right, gentlemen. I'm feeling it. It's warm. Oh.
Show everyone your password now.
Actually, I'll stop the share for this. Just in case.
You were talking a lot of trash today. You might not want to have your password and get out there.
Don't need my ESPN password getting. All right, it's been saved, gentlemen. I will name it right now.
Do you guys want to know who's in our final 4 according to the wheel?
Yes.
I want to know who wins a national champion.
We got to pull out the wheel. Let's go to the final 4. I want to.
So I've eliminated 60 of the 64 teams right now. And I don't even know if these 4 teams can reach the final 4. Does someone still have a bracket open right now on one of their screens?
Yes. Yeah.
Is Kansas State, Arizona State, Miami, NC State a possible final 4?
No, NC State is not. Because NC State is. Wait, what'd you say?
Say that again. Say the teams again. Kansas State,
Arizona State, NC State, and Miami.
Yes, that is a possible final.
That's a possible final 4.
Okay, so that's our final 4. You want me to share my screen?
Rishi, I did have a final 4 segment today, and would you like to put that down as yours?
I mean, I guess for the wheel, sure. It's not going to happen, but are you seeing the wheel?
Yeah. Maybe we'll wait until after the first week, and then we'll go back and we'll revisit this, and we'll do a final 4 when we're not running on a 3-hour show. But
facts. Okay,
We do
here
have
we
hot
go.
takes. I wanted it to be first round hot takes for this week. So give me your spicy hot round first round takes. Honestly, it might be some of the games we predicted.
I'll text you more before the games start, but one of my predictions, I'll do this for the first round and tournament long, but we see the most upsets of all time. So I'll set the one hot take is the first round record, and then one hot take is the full thing.
I'm curious of what that is.
NCAA.
All right, Dallas, while we're looking that up, what do you have?
Louisiana over Tennessee will be one that I have. Let's see here. I gotta have another one in here. Don't even know who to go. Oh man.
There's some upsets that we did put in our bracket. Furman beating Virginia.
Since it is a 4-13, then I'll slide over to Kennesaw State beating Xavier. And let's see. I'll try one more on the points line. Yeah, come back to me. I'm going to find a player and I'm going to tell you how much he's going to drop.
All right, here we go. Been cooking these up in the lab. Kent State beats IU by 15. And we're going to go with the player that everyone is going to be put onto in the first round. We're going to stick with him. I think Drew Pember drops a 30 and 20 double-double. Actually, no, let's say Drew Pember drops a triple-double. Let's go 30 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. And then Dallas, what's your last, the player points?
Oh gosh, man. None of these really stepped off the table to me, but I'm gonna go USC and Boogie Ellis drops 35 on Michigan State.
All right, Rishi.
So the record,
It's 19 for the overall tournament, and then how many in the first round? 10?
10.
10's a lot.
So yeah, that's what we got for what we're trying to set the record for. I don't know what our current bracket does, if that breaks that record or not.
Let me count. I can count real quick.
Okay.
So we have one upset, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 currently.
Well,
so it's possible. Possible. It's not out yet.
we'll see. All right, should we do our final four wheel?
I think we save it for next week. I feel like we've gone long enough, and we might want. I know we need to talk about the NFL next week, so we'll get on it. I'll make sure we get there. We may have to do another show on Friday. I can't even lie, just depending on where we're at with the NFL and what happens in the next couple of days. But it's been great to have you on. It's been great, everyone who's been watching. We've had a great time. I hope that no one followed our March Madness bracket guide because did pick a lot of upsets, but it's been a good show and it's been great to have you on, gentlemen. And I will see you all next week. See you guys.
Yep.
Happy